that's where I'm hanging my hat on.
Right.
Like, it's controversial, dude. Like, I don't care what you fucking believe, dude. I really don't. Like, no, most people don't, right? Well, I'm not leaning like, oh, I'm letting some person persuade me into making this guest not come.
Bullshit!
All right, so we're going to talk about this Camelcast situation, which I know him as Camelott331, but I digress. I've been watching this guy on YouTube since he first started talking about his experiences with GameStop, and then he's pivoted to content talking about a lot of things where he would talk about how these corporations, especially like with retail and fast food, just corporations in general, and how they would treat their employees. And it really resonated with me. I could relate to a lot of what he was talking about, but I've been watching this guy for some time. And so in this recent controversy, which he is definitely no stranger to, and he'll tell you that himself, it says here the Gaming Geek Expo bans Camelcast, and they called him a bad guy from World War II. Quote unquote, I'm out of the event. Okay, first of all,
you keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I am so tired of people just using these terms and words that they just throw out on the internet without any real understanding of what it means, or if they don't like what someone has to say or their opinion, they just use these random lists. They have these list of words they just throw out there. Anyone who uses terms like this, I'm going to automatically just completely discredit any conversation with you because it's a waste of time. There's that, and along with that word and along with many others, but I digress. But it says Coney Dennison, NASCAR ARCA racing driver and YouTube personality, also known as Camelcast, was suddenly removed from the upcoming Games and Geek Expo and Raleigh, hope I pronounced that right, North Carolina on May 25th. Dennison posted on X sharing that he was disinvited from the event after a vendor and a photographer allegedly called him a bad guy from World War II. This decision, detailed in an email from the Expo's organizers, has sparked debate about cancel culture and free speech. I can't believe we're in 2025 and people are still doing this. Look, it's okay to have an opinion about something. Look, opinions are like assholes. We've all got them, right? But what I don't understand is why we throw out these terms towards people if we disagree with them. Look, I don't have to like what you're saying. You don't have to like what I'm saying, and that's perfectly okay. But what it gets into the realm of absurdity when now you start doing stuff to inhibit these people from either getting a job or going to some sort of an event or something like that. That's where it becomes ridiculous. Why can't we just have conversations instead of just throwing out random terms and decide that we don't like a person because they have an opinion that we either don't like or it hurt our feelings? When did we become so soft? But anyway, it says, so here's his Twitter post, X post, whatever. To all the people who bought tickets to come and see me at the Game and Geek Expo, I have been kicked from the event. One of the vendors and photographers from the event said that I'm this word, so I have been canceled from the show. So it comes down to like what? Maybe a couple of people that didn't like the fact that he was going to be there, so now suddenly he can't go? Make it make sense. The Game and Geeks Expos, hosted by RRG LLC and presented by Hinden Block Games, is usually a big festival of all things retro and modern gaming, cosplay, and pop culture. Someplace I would have loved to have gone, honestly. And it's going to be at the Raleigh Convention Center. But this year, the Expo's promise of a welcoming, respectful environment has apparently clashed with Dennison's involvement. According to an email screenshot Dennison shared, the organizers said they had flagged videos and continual content concerns from the community. They claimed his presence led several vendors and guests to pull out, threatening the event's inclusivity. First of all, and I've watched him talk about this already on his channel, he said that he couldn't even find where any of this was coming from. Now, as of the making of this video, he has actually released, he did a live stream the other day where he actually played his conversation with the president organizer of this particular event. I'll leave a link to that in the description. You can go watch that for yourself. Dennison didn't take the news quietly. In a series of posts on X, he called the Expo's reasoning shaky, I agree, pointing out that vendor spaces were still listed as sold out online. This, he argued, seemed to undermine their claims of mass withdrawals. He also revealed a personal financial hit. He's spent nearly $1,000 on a custom merchandise featuring the Expo's logo, which was now useless thanks to the no refund policy. Man, seriously. That's a crock. I promoted the show, spent my money, and then got canceled. Dennison vented, hinting at something suspicious. He noted that the Expo leaders were actually at his NASCAR race with VIP access just days before the decision was made, adding even more fuel to the fire. He teased that a major content creator plans to cover the incident, which could potentially turn his local spat into a viral saga, or guess that it could be Asmongold. I haven't seen Asmongold talk about this yet, but I will look into that. Let's see here. The core of the whole drama, the accusation that a vendor and photographer labeled Dennison as another word. I'm getting so tired of, yeah, I like how they put it in quotes here because it shows how absurd it is when someone calls you that. It is still pretty odd. Neither the Expo's email nor Dennison's own post explain what content specifically triggered that label. It's possible the complaints came from just a few loud voices, which is always the case I've seen, not the Expo's main audience. And so far, Dennison's calls for transparency haven't gotten any answers from the organizers. So again, this is a perfect example of a few people didn't either like him, or they don't like his opinions, or they don't like his content, whatever the case may be. And now suddenly he can't go. He invested money into this. You know, it's really annoying when you're trying to get ahead and do things like, look, I've been watching this guy for a long time. He's come so far, really trying to get his career up and going. And you got these people that just because they don't like you or they don't like what you have to say, they want to come along and try to ruin everything for you. How about instead of just throwing terms out towards people or trying to cancel them on the internet, why can't a conversation be had? I mean, I guess it's the internet, so that's probably impossible because there's too many people out there that just decide that they have their mind made up about someone and they don't want to listen anymore. And that's the end of it. Now, me personally, I am always willing to be called out for something I might be wrong out. With the exception, and if you start using words like this, then I'm going to completely ignore you. Because, okay, words like this, and I've seen people use the word grifter, I've seen people use, all these words, right? I'm not going to go into the whole list, because we all know what those words are at this point. But anyway, I just wanted to point this out to everyone. Anyone who comes along this video, if you're a big fan of Cody and Camelott, go show the guy some love. He can use it. Look, he just like me, he was a small creator at one point too, and he's just trying to, do what he loves doing. And people always got to come along and ruin it because you happen to have an opinion that other people don't like. That's just the way it is, I guess. But anyway, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this whole situation down below. I'd love to hear from you, whether you either agree with me or maybe you don't agree with me. You know what? Leave a comment anyway. That's okay. All right. Well, if you guys did enjoy this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you are new here. And I will see you all in the next video.